Alright guys, hello and welcome back. Sorry for that little bit of a delay. This one, we're going to be doing a second round 1 game. It's KOS Gaming facing off against hi-5 in this particular matchup. hi-5 had a pretty good run. They've beaten all of the teams in Group A every single time they faced them in the first 5 weeks for the North American Challenger Cup. So we'll see how they fare up against KOS Gaming in this one. Joining me for Game 2 is going to be Rinconius. It's like everyone from around the world, except for Hindu, who's actually in North America now.
Hello, welcome everyone. Yes, it's lovely to be here from the wee hours of the morning of Australia. It's 2 a.m. currently, so it's just good to be here.
So all the venomous spider kangaroos are asleep is what you're getting at.
Yeah.
So for the
Except
moment,
for the nocturnal ones.
are those better or worse?
It depends on what you think. Like, it's an individual thing. Some things like them, other people don't.
Well, we'll see if you're able to cast the duration of this without having to scream like a little girl over a spider attack or something like that. But nevertheless, picks and bans.
It's gonna eat me!
Well, that's like, isn't that like, I believe that's like the majority of the Australian national anthem. I think that's correct. Not sure, but nevertheless.
Right, yeah. Anyway, back on to Smite stuff.
Yeah. Athena, Sylvanas, Bellona banned out. Geb gonna be the final ban before we move into the picks for this one. It's there's no Neath ban. I'm a little surprised by that. Apollo first picked. The meta is changing again on the back of the patch earlier in this week. It's going to be interesting. And we saw last game, Transcendence starts coming out from the Hunters, no starter items. It's going to be just crazy this week. I mean, this is even different from how the SPL was on Thursday. The SPL, we saw Devourer's Gauntlets, Death Toll starts. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, and you know who most benefits out of like this entire shift in the meta? It's actually back to where things started at the end of Season 1. Apollo's the strongest. Death Toll, significantly, we all know how well Death Toll combines with the Audacity passive coming through from Apollo.
Yeah.
Neath, I mean, she's just resorted to a wave clear, heavy pressure god. You know, that's what we're looking at for Neath now. She's no longer a hunter. Just kind of wipe her off the board as a hunter, you know? You're now looking, she's not really playable in the duo lane because she has no steroid. So you're playing her mid lane, you're using the utility from the snare, the sustain, and the safety in her backflip that also creates more burst for her. That's what you're looking at. Then, her in-hands are stronger than a mage. So you've got to think of her as a spell-casting hunter. She's not really an in-hand focused hunter. She's spell-cast, wave clear, wave pressure.
Yep, Thor, Ice is locked in for hi-5 in this one. We haven't seen a whole lot of Thor play coming out in recent weeks. We're not even getting, you know, it's not just he's been banned so nobody can play him. People have been preferring other gods in his stead. I mean, he's still a very strong god. The damage early on can be massive. The Anvil of Dawn, the range at which he can actually initiate from is huge. Ice is the same type of deal. Spirit Ball from max range does a ton of damage. It sets up play. Circle Protection is big area of you either move out of this area or you take a whole bunch of damage. And if you are forced to fight in it, we're going to heal off it, reduce the damage you do, and then also do damage back towards you.
Yeah, so, you know, Isis is, especially with the level of play that Bolcher brings to the table, we've seen him play some absolutely excellent Scyllars. I think he wound up with our MVP from week 1, in fact. So, you know, we all know how strong the Bolcher mid lane carry is, and it's such a huge part of the team comp from these guys. Like, everything is so centered around Bolcher in that early game. Get him ahead, get him going. Isis combos well with that. Wingust for wave clear, Spirit Ball for pick potential. I love it when he's on gods. That's the thing about Scylla and Bolcher as well. He's got a sick him for pick potential. Catch somebody, Bolcher works fantastically in that sort of scenario.
On the other side, it was Batz and Agni getting picked up. Agni will have I don't want to say trouble early on against Isis, but the Path of Flames, which he'll be using for wave clear initially, is a little bit of a riskier move for wave clear purposes. They do have Batz to combo up with that, however. The AoE raining down while they're caught in that Fairy Weevil could be massive. hi-5 picking up Medusa as well. To answer back to the Apollo, we'll have, I want to say, we'll be a little bit better off in the wave clear department, possibly some incidental harass as well, because Acid Spray does kind of spray all over the place. Other than that, counter bans coming out. It's going to be Emir and Ares getting taken off the table. Game 1, we saw a whole bunch of Hunter bans. Game 2, it's all about those supports.
Yeah, and I like this a lot better as well. If you take a look at the supports that have been taken away, Ares being taken away from gonna say it's El Brochacho, isn't it? That's on the support. He just likes to get in there and go balls deep all the time. He is such an aggressive support, and he's such a big playmaker. Combos perfectly with Bolcher. We were just talking about how Bolcher can make some plays on the Spirit Bomb Isis.
Yep.
El Brochacho, he's right there as well. So banning Ares away from him, good idea. Getting Ymir off the table as well is if they don't ban Ares, free pickup for high five.
Oh, it's an NA. No one picks Ymir in NA anyway. It's all the European thing. Sobek, though, I like this pickup by high five. It's a very ambiguous pick with this. They can still stick him over in the solo lane. They could also have El Brochacho run him in the duo lane as the support. The bottom of the barrel right now is being scraped with Kumbhakarna getting covered up. Not to say he's, not a good god, but he's really not picked up that much. He's a team fight setup god. He'll set up team fights for everyone else, but he relies on everybody else to actually then follow up on it, which, yeah, that's what supports tend to do. But he's not an Ares. He's not going to make him plays on his own necessarily. He's not a Sylvanas. He's not going to pull somebody back towards the team and just allow his team to burst those guys down. So I expect that Chaos Gaming is going to make this work in a way, just because Kumbhakarna, he received that buff to the Mighty Yawn a while back, and now reduces attack speed if it's broken. He's still a very strong god. We just really haven't seen him picked up because so many other gods are prioritized over him.
Look what he's being played into, right? Medusa, attack speed slow. Medusa's got no steroid. Like, her Viper shot, it's 3 shots. It's not even second base. As soon as she lands those 3 basics, anyone else with their steroids is just like, yes, steroid, I can throw as many basics off in this duration as absolutely possible, and I'm fine. Medusa's 3 shots. If she misses all 3 shots, she's got no steroid up. Kumbhakarna counters that beautifully. Like, that's a really, really strong counter. It also sets up perfectly. They've got the Apollo on the board. They've also got an Agni on the build. So their mid to late game is extremely strong.
Yep.
And, Kumbhakarna as well, it's like Medusa's trying to come into a fight. She's looking for Petrify. She's looking for Acid Spray. Nope, you're in the air. You're out of here for a little bit. We're going to time out your Viper shot as well. She's very cooldown-centric. She's kind of like a more aggressive version of Neith, kind of.
Yeah.
In that she also has CC, but it's shorter range, but has more burst potential on it.
Yeah, final pick on the board for high five was that Odin locked in as the support. So they kind of set themselves up for this. They picked up Sobek, the ambiguous pick, see exactly what KOS Gaming picks up on the other side. They locked in that Hercules. They locked in that Kumbhakarna. There is currently only one god, with the exception of Apollo, who can use his ultimate to get out of that Ring of Spears, who can escape it. Batz can leap over the somersault. So Odin's going to play very well into the team comp. Hercules, no mitigate wounds shenanigans, keeping him alive forever and ever. He's locked down within that one. So, we'll have to see. Bird Bombs early on as well, going to be a little bit of a cause for trouble. That said, Bird Bomb on in, and one Mighty Yawn later, and you're going to be kind of locked down in a spot you may not want to be standing in for too much longer. So we'll have to see exactly how these teams play this one out. The game is ready. We're going to be jumping into that, syncing ourselves up. We'll have that for you in just a couple minutes, guys. All right, wrong button. Hello and welcome back, everyone. It's time for the second match of the day. KOS Gaming facing off against High Five in this one. Previously, facing off in the first 5 weeks, 3-0 in favor of High Five. Will Week 6 in the group stage round robins be any different? What are your feelings on this so far, Rankonius?
Well, I mean, that's straight up. That's just a rough call. That's a rough matchup to be going in. You know that you're going to be against the wall. Anytime you're playing in a high five, you know you're going to be against the wall in the Challenger Cup. You knew that, but when you're 0-3 into it's rough as well. They have got a decent comp, though. Look at the Agni, look at the Apollo. Combos perfectly with Kumbhakarna.
It does indeed. So we'll see how this one plays out. Speaking of those rosters, Chaos Gaming left-hand side is going to be Agni in the mid lane. He should be in the middle. Him and Hercules swapping roles. There we go. Kobe in the solo lane as Hercules, no name in the jungle as Batz. Agni being played by Cliff in the mid lane. Gizmo Luke in the support role, playing that Kumbha. That was a horrible Kumbhakarna. And finally, Cal Chakra playing that 80 carry Apollo.
Yeah, and then right side, our #1 seeds leading into our round robin phase. It is going to be High Five, starting at the back camps on the left-hand side. El Chapu's going to be in the solo on the right-hand side, starting the back camps as well on Sobek. Grishank is going to be on our jungle. Thor in the mid lane. Vulture on an absolutely fantastic god to be playing for him. This is perfect. Isis. El Brochacho is going to be on the Odin at the Guardian role, and finally coming through for us, Nonton, the return of the mighty Nonton into our Hunter role for High Five.
Yeah, so looking like the regular roster for those guys, as all these gods, for the most part, arrive in lane. High Five a little bit slower with the double back harpy start coming out. We'll see if that's able to be capitalized on at all. So they're going to lose some minion gold in the right lane. But other than that, it looks like things more or less going to be stabilized. They're able to delay and tank up the dual lane minions. Mid lane, they got there quick enough anyway. They were able to answer back and forth. No Name actually going to make a quick rotation over to mid lane and soak up some experience and gold there.
Yeah, that's going to shove Bolcher on a tower, which is incredibly important. I mean, we've already talked about already how big he can get and how much of an important carry he can be centric around the mid lane. But let's talk about this back hoppy start, because it actually, hi-5 don't have the early wave clear. Level 1, Agni wins out in the mid lane against Isis. Right-hand side, Sobek loses out to Hercules in the early phase of the game. Basically, his role is not to die in that lane, right? So they started back camps.
Yeah. Mid lane, I don't necessarily straight up win. Isis is a pretty strong early game god. Agni as well. As soon as he hits level 5 and has the Rainfire available, Wave Clear will be alright. Mighty Young coming up and gives him a look, trying to stay alive on this left-hand side. Kalachakra as well, using the moves for that little bit of a knock-up, making sure that Chacho and Nanton were not able to find an early first blood. Back Harpy's getting picked up as well. hi-5 looking like they want to get an early strength and an early hold on this match and just not let it go.
Yeah, if they rotate out of the mid lane from the side of hi-5 immediately and do at least one set of these back camps before coming back in, they will get that level 5 before the mid camps. They're not going to miss XP, and look at the back camps from Cos Gaming. They're down for so much longer, and they're not going to grab a second set before mid camps. So, you know, that's something that's going to be significantly in hi-5's favor. You've got to keep an eye on Bolcher and Grishank. Grishank's 5 already. Here he is.
Yep, No Name gonna caught by the tail end of the Tectonic Rift. There's the hammer teleport from Grishank, gets him up close and personal. Path of Flames used to zone out any possible chase potential. They'll be okay for now. Cliff, though, he's not gonna have level 5 by that. Oh, he might actually hit it right here. Yeah, just in time. There's that first Halo pop appearing above his head. He'll have 2 bombs online for these Harpy spawns here in just about 15 more seconds. We'll have to see how these guys look to play this one out. They have all the ultimates coming up right now. Left side, that's kind of where the pressure's been coming out. Chacho, with those bird bombs coming out from him, have just been causing all sorts of headaches for Kalachakra in that duo lane.
Check out Ultrapu here. He's rotating over to try and pick up the right-hand side mid camps, realizes he's a little bit late. He's just watching, he's delaying for his team because there's 5 in the mid lane. Grishank slams down but won't find anything. Can Ultrapu get it? He's got a block.
He found No Name, who is not looking like he's going to have Fiona Weave a wall knockback 4, and a somersault over the wall will get him out safely. They're looking to chase down Cliff. Ring of Spears drop down from Chacho, securing first blood onto Bolcher. As Apollo drops down from across the skies, trying to find anything he possibly can, but now he's cut out 1v3. Covey comes on around, driving strike for the stun and knockback. Can they turn this fight around?
He's got Bolcher, he's got the boulder if he really needs it. Kalachakra is so low and Nonson's going to pick that one up. Covey with the boulder in the background is going to grab 2. Now it's back to level peggings. Grishank might be looking to come in on the backside of this. Gizmaluke is going to find a snare onto Nonton. Covey's starting to drop. He's going to get stunned up here as well. Look at the Berserker Barrage tapping across 2. Can they find the kill here?
Grishank back from base, looking to chase his kill down. The Yawn comes out, beads, using that they want to lock down this Hercules and find that early kill. Chapu coming back into this one as well with the charge play. Prey pluck. They're trying to lock Grishank, looking for this kill. Tectonic Rift, and a double tap later. That is a dead Hercules. No Name did manage to chase down and pick up that crocodile. So a scattered fight all over the place. First blood ended up going to hi-5, but it was 3 for 3 in the end of that very, very long engagement.
Check out the XP difference. It's actually slightly... Oh, actually, Grishank's going to get caught out by Kalachakra. Gets that up. The double tap through. Grishank's out of here. Gizmaluke looking for a snare. He's going to find it. One more in-hand is required. He's not quite going to get that. Ring of Spears, Chacho. Great job from him.
Yeah, that was rough. Gizmaluke looked like he had locked that one down. Unfortunately, Kumbhakarna not known for his speedy in-hand attacks, so it will be a very, very narrow escape from Grishank. He got greedy. He looked for that damage buff on the way out of the jungle, and well, he got spotted and almost picked off for it. Right side, Chapu trading back and forth with Covey and not really winning that exchange. Low on health, he's sitting under his tower, hoping they don't look to dive this one out. His charge prey was just using on cooldown. Who's in that fire giant pit? It's a Grishank going up into the air, looking to find a Covey. Gonna drop on down onto his head, not find that first stun. As the wall actually blocks off Chapu on that one, it's gonna ensure the escape for Covey right there. If Chapu had been able to walk forward quickly enough and actually look to start locking down Covey with that combo of damage, that could have potentially been a kill, but No Name was still present, so it would have been a fight rather than a quick pick.
At mitigate wounds, you can never ever forget mitigate wounds. Covey here, looking for something. But Boulder was online. Chapu had to play that absolutely perfectly. Grishank, and they did. I mean, the entire role, we mentioned it straight up at the start of the game. if El Chapu doesn't die in this lane, he's done his job.
Yeah.
Hercules is going to have all the pressure over him.
Yeah, there's a lot more displacement as well. Path of Flames can't go through that Ring of Spears. Sword Protection dropped down as well, looking to charge that one up and detonate it for that kill. One more Wind Gust secures that one. This game is going to basically, for a long while, be on Albert Chacho. If he can keep finding these Ring of Spears and locking down or even saving his own allies from death time and time again, it's going to be a huge factor in these fights. The anti-healing coming out and things like that, it's going to be a big deal. Mid-Harpy is going to be split 1-for-1 right here. And you touch on that Sobek-Hercules kind of matchup. Hercules later on is definitely going to offer a little bit more team fights. Oh, gives him a look. That's not a place you wanted to be.
Yeah, he's got the passive down there. At least No Name's looking to poke around, looking for something. But let's go back to that solo lane. Yeah, Sobek's just not going to be able to do anything. This could be an early Gold Fury because they do have the death down on the Kumbhakarna.
Yep, and no reason not to try for this one right now. There's still a hand of the gods on Hercules, but can he get here in time? No, he cannot. No Name's in the middle of the thick right now as Vulture's damage. Helper's dropping to the damage. No Name trying to find the kill. Somersault will find a boulder rolling across as well. Doing work, but can No Names get out? Lurking in the waters from El Chapu says no.
Yeah, but this one might not be over. El Chapu is incredibly low. Driving Strike and Kobe didn't actually find El Chapu and find the stun, but there is a wave of flames to kill him off, and that's going to at least secure some kills back in the pocket of Cos Gaming. But that early Gold Fury, it's going to snowball the gold graph. We're out to a 1,700 gold lead this early on. High Five generally don't lose any matches that they get a gold lead on.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a true little fact on that one. I believe one of their few losses overall in the first 5 weeks, they ended up finishing out 20 games to 5 as far as win-loss is concerned. They did drop a couple over to Noble Esports and Resist Gaming, who are actually over down in Group B, so they won't be facing them off here in the top part of the round-robin stage. So whether that's a good thing for High Five or a bad thing for the rest of the group, I'm not necessarily sure. We'll see how that plays out. It's only the first game so far. Covey, with the help of No Name, finds that kill on the Grishank on the right-hand side of the jungle. I mean, Chaos Gaming are not in this one yet. It's not like they have a team of early game gods where if they don't get rolling early, it's going to be over. It's also still 6-6 on the kill board. It's a 1,500 gold lead, 300 per player. It's an active. An active's a great, don't get me wrong, but it's not like, oh my god, we just won this game because we got a Gold Fury.
Yeah, no, not first Gold Fury. If you get successive Gold Furies, that's where you start to speak it up. Something we've focused on this season of Challenger Cup is those steps to victory, building up pressure on your opponents over taking successive objectives. And that's something the High Five are very, very good at doing. They generally, their gold graphs when they win as well. So very step heavy. Oh, we picked up one objective, straight onto the next one. We picked up this objective. All right, we backed off so we didn't die. A little bit of a gap, another step to victory. That's how they tend to win their games as well. But on this right-hand side, Grishank's trying to put his focus down. You've got to keep note that El Chapu's down 2 levels, and Grishank's down 3 on towards Kobe's Hercules. This is not something they can continue to keep up.
Yeah, the Hercules is getting a lot of gold. Teleports were picked up by the Soul Laners as well, so they'll have that option to join team fights across the map. Kind of one of those, you got it, well I will get it as well. The one potential concern still sitting on mind is going to be any anti-healing coming up from High Five. They have that Ring of Spears. It's not always going to be a situation where we're going to use it on Hercules. Sometimes a team fight won't work out that way. You have to use it on somebody else to start a fight. You can't always save it. Much like now, you look for the pick, that'll definitely work out.
Yeah, Kalachakra is so low, he's actually going to get the across the skies and get out of here, but No Name's not in the same sort of a scenario. One more Wind Gust, the in-hand's going to clean that one up.
Here's
Gizmaluke did find... No, that was Thor, you were right.
Yeah, Christian gonna look for Gizmaluke on this one as Albert Chacho comes on in as well. That's a big slow coming out from El Chapu on that. He's gonna keep Gizmaluke in range, just barely missing damage. Charge play will pull him back into his team. They'll have a wall here in just a second to lock him down. Throwing all those abilities, he will fall. Nanton picks up that kill. Looking for one more clip. Bird Bomb! And a Berserker Barrage connects for that kill.
Nanton's still looking for a Rinda to get out. He's walked into Kalachakra and now it's back on towards Kobe. He's really low, but Kalachakra is looking for Eljo Chacho. He's found him. Kobe's in a world of hurt though. He's got one more in hand. Almost got enough healing from that mitigate wounds. Now Kalachakra, he's got Spirit Ball on, but he's forced to use those beads.
Yep, that will buy him a little bit of time. The move's going to be up in 2. 1, there he goes, back under the safety of his tower. Going to try to avoid that charge prey as No Name arrives back to the middle of the map to make sure they didn't want to look for that dive. Did he have the Fear No Evil? No, he did not. But nevertheless, you don't want to be messing with a monkey under the tower with a Kalachakra Apollo there to help him out as well. It would have been risky. They probably wouldn't have found anything else. And let's face it, High Five had won that fight already. Why get greedy and risk throwing the victory?
Now that was actually a really super greedy play coming out of Cos Gaming. They sent No Name and Kalachakra were looking to try and dive and put a lot of pressure down on towards Nonton. That's where the Fear No Evil was actually burned in the left-hand lane. And Nonton's just like, alright, you're walking towards me. As soon as the Fear walks off, points back at them, Petrify, stuns them out, kills off the gank, and then they've burned, they've burned Fear No Evil for a Petrify. Nonton's like, alright, I'm just going to continue boxing teams here.
Yeah, we actually didn't talk about the Hunters too much this game. Different start from last game. Last game was all about those charged Morning Stars coming out for those Transcendences. Speaking of Hunters, one of them just died. That Ring of Spears.
Unfortunately.
You can't run away from it as Apollo if your ultimate is down.
And this is a really important timing to get a kill as well, because look at the Gold Fury. It's about to spawn. This is ward control time, but Grishank, he's not satisfied with ward control.
He's stuck coming out, epic uppercut onto Grishank. That's a lot of damage. Charge Prey and lurking the wards right under the ground. They're going to look for this kill. True has to run out from the tower. One more shot. Would have found that kill. Able to just escape in time. Grishank in the backside of the fight, though. Low on health. Trying to get locked down. Can they find this kill? Can they find an answer kill?
Oh.
No Name was looking for it, but not able to find it.
And Bolcher's here now looking for Spirit Ball. It's on towards No Name. That was a huge chunk. This is a big Bolcher this early on. Spirit of the Mage's rush and those Shoes of the Major. He is huge at this point in the game as well. 3-2-4. Gonna be important. Silence down on looking for Agni.
Bolcher can actually dodge the bomb on that one, only getting caught by the stun from the cloud. They're looking to group up for this Gold Fury, but that little bit of delay tactics.
Oh!
Nonton finding No Name in the left-hand side. Trying to talk about the Gold Fury, guys. Give us a moment here. Gold Fury actually getting started up. They bought themselves a little time, but they kind of counter-engaged from KOS Gaming, stopped it from being started initially. Nice, cheeky blink coming out from Agni right there to avoid the Ring of Spears, as Abrochacho is the one stuck in it all by his lonesome.
And that immediately signals disengage from that Fury from High Five. Very smart call. Ring of Spears is their major lockdown teamfight tool in this early portion of the game, but Covey, he's found a tower on the right-hand side.
He has. He's looking for El Chapu right now as well. I think they have to get away as the charge Prey to escape in just 2 more seconds. Wait for it, wait for it. I might have actually underestimated that. Cool. There it goes. A couple seconds off, but whatever. I'm not known for my ability to do the maths. Left-hand side, a bit of a chase going on right now as well, as High Five trying to zone the KOS Gaming lineup off of that Gold Fury. It's going to be a curious game, to say the least, going forward. I mean, the Hunters, we see different starts coming out from last game. We saw Charged Morning Stars into those Transcendences. This game, it's all about the Death Tolls into those Devourer's Guns. Kind of the typical standard build we saw back before the Bluestone Pendant was really, like, picked up. Actually, this is kind of like the beginning of Season 2 start as well, just Death Toll swap back in. So, I don't know. I'm still not sure how I feel about all these new Hunter builds that everyone's trying to figure out themselves, but the game itself, as things stand, that Ring of Spears, like we said, is the kind of the big setup for High Five. And while, you're going to miss them occasionally, it's on such a short cooldown that it's not always a big deal.
Right-hand side, El Chapu is going back in for that trade and is incredibly low. He's remaining around as bait material right here as Grishank just says Berserker Barrage kill. Covey overstays his welcome right-hand side, trying to find some pressure for his team. He did bait 2 members that way, but they just don't have the pressure on the left-hand side of the map to even think about doing the Gold Fury. Or ward controller for that matter. Yeah,
it's not a great spot for them at this particular moment. High Five building themselves a small little lead. It's not necessarily a runaway game. They're looking for that next step up like you talked about earlier on. It's a slow little bleed. They're looking for picks and making good use of that Ring of Spears from Odin to lock people down. But for now, it's just basically a back and forth game. It all comes down to who can find a pick, which that's what High Five are looking for in these fights. They want to make sure they bring someone down before they start that up. Grishank right-hand side. That's actually a pick going to KOS.
Yeah, No Name's going to grab that one. He's burned the Fear No Evil looking for that, and Grishank will at least have the ultimates back online next sort of engage, and that could be over this Gold Fury, and he can get out there as soon as he gets out of that base as well.
That Petrite comes on down, trying to lock down Gizmo Luke. Ring of Spears will do exactly that. As Gold Fury was reset. Circuit protection smack dab in the middle of it. Looking at the damage. That was a huge chunk. Gizmo Luke will fall. No passive for him this time around. Now it comes down to the other 3 members. Can they lock this one down? Gold Fury's below that threshold. It will go the way of KOS Gaming. They will steal that one out. Now can they win the ensuing team fight? It's looking pretty good for them right now. Nonton low on health in the back of this fight. Will fall.
Finally, but I'm not sure they're going to be able to chase too much more out of that one. They've picked up Gold Fury, picked up 2 kills, doing a really nice job. And Grishank, that Thor ultimate, they kind of needed that one to initiate in that fight. KOS were like, yo, you guys are doing the Gold Fury? Burns Ring of Spears, Circle of Protections, and that's kind of a fight once they all try to pile in after that. High Five didn't kill off Gizmaluke quick enough.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The team fight's still looking to go the way of KOS Gaming, trying to find a couple more picks. And this one, Vulture, one more hit, could find that kills. Grishank takes to the air. There's the stun coming down. Can Covey get in range? Grishank looking for the double right now.
You know, Evil's at least on the ground. No Name's going to clean up Grishank. And at least that's going to buy Bolcher some time. He's trying to run into a window where he can start to base. Kovi's found him, though. He's looking for charge. Can he find that pluck now? He's trying to wait on the cooldown. The 2, it's up.
Available.
It's
there
up
it
if
is.
he goes for it.
That's a dead Vulture. The back of that Gold Fury fight not only has gold swung into favor of KOS Gaming, Experience has as well. Pulling up that graph, you can see it right there. That was a big take for KOS Gaming. They not only stopped the bleed, but swung things back into their favor. If they can keep this up and not let Hi-Fi grab the reins once again, they could be in control of this game and look to take a victory off of Hi-Fi, which would be the, of the teams in Group A, would be the first time any of those three other teams have taken one off of Hi-Fi. They have a long way to go, but this is what they need to be doing if they want to do exactly that.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely need to be doing this as well. Look at the ward coverage, though, from Hi-Fi. Hi-Fi are putting a lot of their 1 gold in these early sort of duration of the fights into that ward coverage. Now, look at it start to switch in the in-hand. Sentry ward on No Name. Regular ward, Sentry ward on Gizmaluke. There's only a Sentry.
Lane. The boulder misses El Chapu on that one. He threw right, El Chapu dodged left, and well, that just didn't work out in their favor. Now covering No Name in a little spot of troubles. Grishank's up in the air, not going to find the stun. Tectonic Rift will miss as well. That's going to signal disengage on that particular fight. It's...
Oh, that's Thor ulti down. That's looking, and the water's down, but Kovi's also got nothing left. Grishank's still looking for that aggression, though. Elbow Chacho, Bolcher are here on the side. They might find Cliff.
Yeah, they saw him coming on, and they were looking for the Elbow Chacho ring to lock somebody down, but they're not going to find that now. They could look for Cook Kill on the Cliff, like you said, but he was able to path the flames back out just in a nick of time to avoid any follow-up damage. Left side, Kalchakra eats a Petrify, not quite a stun, however, as the boxing match back and forth. Acid Spray from Nantan secures that kill.
Anton with the outplay. He is such a big part of Hi-Fi. They really missed him in the last week of the Challenger Cup. They did obviously go down to, I think it was Noble actually in the grand final of that one, and that kind of might have hurt their spirits going forward, but they knew that they didn't have Nonton. They were totally fine with it. They were like, okay, we'll just bring him back next week.
Recon filling in for him. Recon did a great job as well. It wasn't just a case like, they
Recon
stuck somebody in, and it's like, well, we did what we could, guys. Recon played awesomely those games.
Yeah, Recon actually, I think towards the back end of the first game, he was actually just going so huge for his team. Actually, I even think in the early portions, Kovi, though, is going to get picked out in the mid lane. They're looking for some Berserker Rage, looking for some poke. Yeah, I mean,
that's the concern right there, that Ring of Spears. No more healing. Mitigate wounds is his bread and butter, as the Boulder does catch a few for damage. Trying to stay alive, just one with the run away. The stun's getting stacked up. Lurking in the waters, Zelchapoo to secure the kill, but Grishank is picked up immediately to answer back by Cliff.
Yeah, El Chapu's not all that healthy as well. No Name's still looking for him with the in-hands. He's going to find a Spirit Bomb coming through from Bolcher. Bolcher slams down and No Name's there. Kalachakra finds El Chapu on the left-hand side. Nontom was looking for him as well, but no mana means he cannot continue to box. And Hi-Five, I think on the back of that, they're actually going to lose that fight.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, a big part of it has been the play coming out from Covey and that Hercules. Just staying alive, causing all sorts of havoc in these team fights. It's been paying off for his team. In addition to that, I said in picks and bans, Kumbhakarna, we don't see all that much of him, but they've been playing this very, very well. It's not a case, I have nightmares from my normal gameplay where it's like, oh, Kumbhakarna, awesome, I'll play him, and it's like, you get this beautiful 5-man mez, and it's like someone like, one Astral Strike from Rom through the middle of them, it's like, and they're all back up and able to move around again. It's like, great. And my Rom just like, one hit, rolling Assault away to escape, and he's like leaving the fight around. It's like, dude, what was that for? Albert Chacho getting locked down mid lane with a full-on combo. Not quite as Grishank uses the Tectonic Rift to avoid the Groggy Strike and the lockdown from that, but Grishank now Anvil Dawn rather going up to run away from No Name.
Yeah, that means that there's no fear, no evil burn for that one as well. So that's only the ultimates. Kalachakra? No, Kalachakra used that in the last fight. So that's literally just Grishank's ult down out of that one. He at least maintains his life, but that means the mid lane tower going the way of KOS Gaming, and they're starting to swing this golden XP difference significantly in their favor. And late game, Medusa's not a late game carry. There's some really nice DPS from Bolcher, but Agni, I'd still favor Agni every day of the week.
Yeah, it's still early enough in, though. It's not a case of like Ice is going to be like kind of tapering off a little bit. We're looking to zone out and final pick on the Bolcher. Circle Protection forced out already as Covey's going to take a little bit of damage, but Mitigate Wounds is ticking away. It's going to heal up the majority of that damage. Ring of Spears does prevent that follow-up healing, however, is now looking to find the follow-up fight.
Well, the focus coming through from Hi-Five is on towards No Name. They find a Spirit Bomb, and Grishank's got the kill. The rock is coming through. Doesn't rock anyone. Gives him a Luke who's got the passive. What can they do if this? Cliff has found Grishank. Fight continues. They will finally kill off Gizmaluke, so that's at least a win for them. Elbow Chacho is out of here, but Cliff's in trouble.
Yeah, they're looking to lock this down. Cliff finds a kill. Vulture enters straight back onto him as the fight does continue. El Chapu charge prey to escape this one. Bird bomb onto the top of their heads. Could find that kill. Kalachakra is so low right now. One combo from El Chapu will find us. And look, that mana bar. Lurking the Warriors did work to fill that mana bar back on up. But they're going to find the kill nevertheless. Can they look for it? Spirit Ball says no.
Vulture, though, he's still going to be in a world of trouble. Kobe's trying to focus down towards him. I think El Chacho's just said, yeah, I'm going to leave you alone, buddy. I've got to get the heck out of here. We'll do so. Hercules and Odin, neither of them solo can look to start up and do this Gold Fury. And the teleport into mid lane from Kobe, he's not done with this one.
He's trying to find this kill onto El Chacho to find one more. He'll have that lunge to escape. Covey's going to save the Earthbreaker for that and try to bring him back into this fight. Mitigate wounds. Covey cannot die in this one unless Gershank's able to make a big deal in this. Earthbreaker, if this connects, could be a kill onto El Chacho. It does connect mid-stun, but follow-up's not going to be there. Raven Shout for the shield, going to do just enough to keep El Chacho alive. Covey still not really going to be killed by these guys, given the situation. He was looking for that kill. Unfortunately, wasn't able to find it, but they're going to start the Gold Fury nevertheless.
Yeah, that buys them time. That was the crucial factor right there. Stopping El Chacho from basing means that Gizamaluke is over here and he's on this Gold Fury. Nonton, he's aware of it though.
Yeah. The question is, will he be able to find that steal? Wrath of the God says no. Petrify, gonna find Cliff. A lot of damage is thrown out as well on the backside of that. He will escape with his life. As Nanton goes into the 1v3 as Apollo comes down from across the skies. El Chacho's on his way, but Nanton may not live long enough to make use of that.
Ring of Spears, though, is at least going to keep him alive. Kalachakra is looking for something. Grishank finds Kobe on the right side. Vulture has joined this fight. El Chacho's doing some really nice job of doing the body blocking. Grishank's going to come in on this one. Who can he stun?
He's looking for Kalachakra. Well, didn't find it, but the Spirit Ball was good. He's still alive, trying to do what he can, but he knew he was dead to rights on that engagement. Did a little bit more damage, but you know what? Yeah, they lost their AD carry, and yeah, the Hercules got picked up on the right-hand side. Gold Fury, still gold-wise, that went their ways. Now they're looking to chase down No Name. El Chapu wanted that kill, but the monkey just got away from him.
Cliff, though, he's looking for Vulture. Vulture's looking at him. El Chapu is probably going to look for a block here. Gets it perfectly on a Cliff, and Vulture's on the backside if they wanted to continue to chase this one. But all this is doing is buying them a lot of time to get this mid lane shoved up. Raven Shout for the tank from El Chacho. They could get this mid lane tower.
Yeah, they're trying to stop Vulture right now, trying to find that kill. Unfortunately, the Circle Protection still does a decent little bit of healing just by dropping it down and popping it. Sacred Monkey! That teleport.
Oh, No Name's going to find one, and Grishank's on the backside looking to save out his team and at least get them out of there. They'll take a death, though, to pick up a tower, but they've got to be careful in case the opposition do decide for a Fire Giant.
Yeah, it's that stage of the game. I mean, we've seen much earlier Fire Giants in the Challenge Cup previously. The pause was 23 minutes. Yeah, 13 and change, something like that. It's 23 minutes and change. It's definitely a possibility at this point in time. If a fight goes too poorly for one of these given teams, the other team definitely could look to pick it up. Taking a peek down at the items, you know, still that little bit of a difference coming out. Level-wise, El Chapu is caught back up. El Chapu, speaking of which, just got caught and not quite locked down. He's still alive, going to get a little bit of healing off that. El Chacho trying to lock these guys down as No Name jumps in the middle of things. Boulder catches one hit onto El Chapu, but he will barely survive, even with the blink coming out from Cliff to try and chase that down.
Kalachakra! He just slams down on towards his face. Grishank is still trying to do those back harpies, but he's forced to leave them alone. Kalachakra did find that kill. Grishank, what can you find, buddy? Two-man tectonic rift. What can they make out of it?
Two-man double tap coming out as well. Covey, not concerned. Mitigate wounds is already doing its thing, healing them back up. The question is, are they going to look for that Fire Giant? It looks like they are. Force the fight or get a Fire Giant right now is the call for this one. They're going to force the reset as they realize pretty much everyone in high five except for El Chapu is on their way. They don't want to risk it. Covey going to get caught by the Anvil of Dawn, but again, he's Hercules. He didn't really care.
Interesting itemization actually starting to come out. Cos Gaming, look at the mid laner from Cliff. He's actually opted to go for a Soul Reaver. That's a little bit of an interesting pickup on the Agni. I'm not a huge mid player myself, Shodan. Maybe you can shed some more light on it.
He's going for the initial burst damage. El Chapu is going to be fairly tanky later on, as is El Chacho, so just that extra little hit of damage. On a squishy target as well, while 15% may not be as big of a number flat out, it's still going to be a huge chunk of their health pool. And Agni isn't necessarily the biggest. He's not a single target god, so he's going to do a lot of damage over the course of the AoE damage he dishes out, but it's going to help just that much more if he's looking to, or able to find a potential pick onto someone, and kind of not necessarily a 1v1, but it'll definitely help out even the pulls out, and it's still going to be a huge chunk of damage. I believe it's 100 and, it's 120 or just 100. Have to cheat. 100 magical power on that one, plus the passive every minute or so. So it's still a very nice item. Book of Thoth is basically just the power. It's kind of a personal trade-off almost in a way.
Ooh, Elbow Chacho and El Chapu looking for the initiate. They've got the Ring of Spears down, focusing on towards Cliff. But the Finno even was there. Cliff gets burst out by Circle Protection. So look at that baseball bounce back and forth. Kobe might be in trouble. Grishank's taking to the skies.
Had them find the stun onto Covey. He's going to be tanking this one up quite well. There's no Ring of Spears dropped down on this one. There's no Ring of Spears available as well. They're looking for the re-engage here right now, the counter-engage rather, as the Earthbreaker will miss into Elbow Chacho. Backline, No Name in spot trouble. Covey trying to zone him out. Front line of this fight, however, Kalachakra and Gizmaluk looking to do work. Grishank, will they fall? Kalachakra's 1v4 as Apollo. He needs to find a kill, but not able to do so. They all will survive. No Name finds Grishank, but the fight is messy.
And look at this, Nonton is just free hitting. He has not lost a lick of health this fight. Another driving strike into the wall. Elbow Chacho's got a Raven shout, keeps him alive. Gizmaluke is going to find a 3-man snare. What can they find? El Chapu flings back. Nonton to pick up the kill on towards Kobe. They're not quite done. If they can find Gizmaluke, this might be Fire Giant. No Name has other ideas.
Dropping with an overhand smash. Stun over the wall. Not quite enough damage. No Name barely surviving this one. They need to find Gizmaluk. He's the one who's going to be looking to blink, pop on in there and look for the steal. He does have Blink available, so if he's out of combat, the potential is there. They're going to go for the Gold Fury, go the safe. Gold Fury, not quite yet. It's 30 seconds off Zidane. What are you talking about right now? They're going to head to the side of the map and get ready for it. They may not have the exact timer on this one right now. You can see they're kind of waiting. The Fire Giant call right now would be way too risky. Mana bars are low, health bars not necessarily great at the situation either, and respawns for Cost Gaming coming back up. You see Cliff had already respawned, because that fight did go on for quite a while.
That was a risk from Cos. They had no wards in that Fire Giant pit. They could have done it. There was no vision whatsoever, and I really want to know the cooldown of that Gizmaluke passive. If that was down, and High Five knew it was down, I think they probably would have initiated that Fire Giant.
I think the last time we saw it, I believe it would actually have been up. It's been a while since I've seen it.
That's my intuition says that it would be up.
You know, if it wasn't up, it would have been like so close that it would have been like, yeah, whatever. We can't see a timer on that one, unfortunately, but it was just all down to speculation. But it's now looking like it's going to be High Five trying to sneak this one in. There is a ward in there right now, so they will be aware this one started up. They're going to double, actually, sentry ward that pit up, just to make sure, double the sentries, just to ensure there wasn't a secret hidden ward in there. Nevertheless,
double the sentries take double the time to clear.
That is true as well.
Anyway, looking for the blink through from Elbow Chacho. He's got that Ring of Spears. It's locked. No Name into a pit as well. Grishank's taken to the sky.
And there's that passive. Not quite going to keep him alive this time. Belcher will find that kill. Covey answers back on the Nonton. That's a little bit of a bigger pickup. The front line's gone, but they have the damage still. Now, can they turn this one? Kalachakra finds the kill into Belcher as well. High Five, once again, not coming out victorious on this team fight. They're going to drop down the Tectonic Rift and stop the chase, but they could look for that Fire Giant right here, right now. They know there's vision down this one. Covey, though, has that sentry to clear it out. They need to look to stop this from happening right now. I mean, this game is so close. High Five have just barely clawed back the lead, but experience still in favor of Cos. High Five have the gold lead, but only barely.
Only barely, and they've got multiple members alive right now. They're still looking for El Chapu. Won't quite find him thanks to Charge Prey. Kalachakra has got different ideas. He's looking at Grishank, but Odin's on the backside. This could be worrying for Kalachakra.
He does not have the across the skies either, so if he gets caught in the Ring of Spears, he will be stuck in there for a little while. They're not going to give chase too much, just pick up some farm in the mid lane right now. This is going to be a crazy game, and we're coming up on the 30-minute mark right now. The game is just about dead even. KOS Gaming have not taken victory over High Five in the past. I couldn't even at this point tell you how those games had turned out when they occurred, so I'm not even sure how they played out. But High Five were, first seed. They played very, very well throughout the entire season. They have a full roster going to the first, the first matches for the group stages here. So, I mean, they're playing this game very well, but KOS Gaming are playing these team fights at the same level.
Oh, Spirit Ball on towards Kavi. But look at that, just takes next to no damage. Grishank didn't find Tectonic Rift. So that is tanky Hercules doing tanky Hercules things. Look at him. He's just glowing green now.
Yeah, he
Damn it,
glows.
Hercules.
Yeah, he's just that awesome. He glows.
He's radioactive.
Orange, yellow glow as he disappears to... Oh, he went back to base. He recalled. I know what that is. Yeah. I know what a recall animation is, guys. I was just messing around. We had yelled in chat. Oh, the caster doesn't even know what a recall is. Why is he casting the game? You always get that one guy who actually takes everything for word. I don't know my math. I don't know half my academic subjects, but I know what a recall animation is. I have that going for me. Give me that one thing, please.
But do you know the mathematics of a recall animation?
There are rings and spheres and more rings, and they shrink, and there's probably some calculus involved. I don't even know. I'm not going to get into this anymore. Man, we
yeah,
crossed
let's
that
just
line
say.
from things I'm comfortable with to things I'm not very good at, so we're going to leave that subject alone for now. Mid-Harpy fight, a little back and forth, this high five. 30-minute Harpy fight coming out here, guys. They just respawned for the 10th time this game.
And they're gonna get 1 harpy each from that right camp. Look at that. Sharing is caring.
I don't even know anymore.
Pluck though on a cliff. This could be the start of something.
Grosjean gonna not quite find the double tap. Path of Flames will get him out from that second hit of damage. Is the big one. The Fire Giant dance, though, is well on at this point in time. Both these teams know that if they get too far away, the other team will look to just swoop on in and force the fight, if absolutely nothing else. And, as things stand right now, High Five are not in a situation where they can just take things for granted. They have to take this game seriously, because Cost Gaming are giving them a run for their money.
Check out the builds coming through here from the supports at this stage as well. Cos Gaming, we were mentioning how slow the in-hand attacks are from Kumbhakarna earlier on in the game. He's picked up a Wing Blade, which means that he doesn't have Sovereignty Heart Ward coming through from his team. He does have Sovereignty. Hercules opted for the Heart Ward because he had more gold. Man, it was online a lot earlier. That's why he's been a lot tankier. The rest of things are all sitting on the side of Elbro Chacho from the side of High Five, which means that we're actually seeing a Warlock Sash, Breastplate of Valor, and Midgardian Mail coming through from Sobek.
Yeah, that's fairly standard itemization coming out from him. I mean, it's triple physical lineup. The in-hands coming out from Hercules, Hun, Batz, and Apollo. You want to apply those the slows to both attack speed and movement speed when you possibly can. I mean, other than that, I mean, nothing really too out of the ordinary from either of these teams. Albert Chacha will get picked up by Covey and Dragon Strike back, but not really taking too much damage from that. Also looks like he's building towards what will eventually be a Frostbound Hammer there. Rune Forge would be a nice item, but Frostbound, that slow and movement speed slow, would kind of add to the Albert Chacha Odin kit, where after the initial Ring of Spears and the slow from Gunger's Might, he's kind of, as the game continues to progress into the later stages.
Check out Bolcher here as well, opting to go for a Pythagorean's Piece and a Rod of Tahuti. Coming through from Cliff, we got the Chronos Pendant. We already discussed the Soul Reaver and the Spear of the Magus. You know, that's pretty standard itemization, Spear of the Magus. Pythagorean's Piece, it's kind of like, it's a decently strong item, but they're looking for magical. You normally grab it when you've got multiple magical members here.
It's still a
I wouldn't say that
item.
Odin's not magical, but at least Sobek is.
They're all magical in their own special ways. However, not all of them do magical damage. Yeah, it's still a quite solid arm. You're looking at it's the cooldown reduction, it has a bit of lifesteal, it has the extra magical power. I think it's 90 of the arm. Gizmo Luke rather, caught by the Upper Chacho, knockdown. Epic Uppercut does connect just in time. The Petrify was good as well. Covey's health bar dropped rapidly and does get picked off.
Gizmo is now in towards that passive, and Apollo's just starting to come across from this one, but he's lost an entire team. They've picked up 2. They've picked up 3, actually, as they find Cliff in the background. Grishank's going to clean that one up, and Apollo's now going to be here looking to box out on towards Grishank. Has next to no mana from Kalachakra. Grishank's a little bit better off. Now the Fire Giant's being contested. No Name wants to contest.
He only has the Fist of the Gods, though. He can't really look to steal someone. He's been trying to find a kill on the Vulture and just deny that Fire Giant belt. However, they're not going to be able to stop it long enough. That fight just kind of came down to Cost Gaming being a little too spread out. They're able to find the 2 tanky frontliners, Covey and Gizmo Luke. That health bar is just evaporated. Gizmo Luke was caught in the Ring of Spears. Covey was caught in the Ring of Spears. The bread and butter of Hercules tends to be that mitigate wounds. It keeps him alive, lets him be that big monster for a long time in a fight. You take away that healing, there's not much left there for him. You can knock some people around for a second or two, swing that bat, hit him a couple times, but your bread and butter, your healing, is just not there.
Interesting to note from the side of Cos Gaming, they did opt to go for the split push strategy, as we're actually going to see the mid Phoenix fall in favor of High Five. But Apollo stayed a long time. That fight was more than half over before he finally, like it was, the third person was just being picked up before he got into the skies and started transitioning over to the right-hand side. Look at the tower, the left-hand side tower on High Five's side. That's so low. That's what he was doing. They were like, we need you in fight. We need you in fight. He's just like, I want to get this tower. That tower baited them, and it's still there, and they lose the Fire Giant. That's what swung the game right there.
Yeah. The fact that he was on the left side of the map, yeah, the tier 1 tower would have been nice, but he picked up the gold here when that Fire Giant dance was going on. That's what's keeping the gold as close as it is right now. The question is, how much are they going to lose with the following 2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining on that Fire Giant buff? If they can keep, if they lose those 2 tier 2 towers, it's not going to necessarily be the game. High Five will definitely have reestablished control of the game, but it won't be completely out of control quite yet. If Cost Gaming, they could potentially look for a tier 2 defense. That left side tower is gone. There's no point defending it. It has so little health, it won't be worth it. The right lane, however, that could be an option for them. It's pretty much full health. It will still fall quite quickly, but they could look to hold on to that one, deny that 1,500 gold. And if they can go even, or even, you know, just save the tower and lose 1. It's still better than losing 1,500 gold, or giving the enemy team 1,500 gold. You just kind of keep the gold lead from getting what am I trying to say? The net amount of gold exchange, if they can keep it below 1,500, could be a victory. That's the most.
Yeah, very, very much so. It could be a victory. Most important defensible objective. I mean, you mentioned the right-hand tower. It can be a defendable objective. That's very, very defendable. But this is the right call from hi-5. They're actually looking at Kobe, who's going to get Spirit Balled up.
Yeah, the Ring of Spears is available. Very greedy play coming from Cubby. He's going to get caught down and locked down for that one. That didn't really buy them that much. They had some people nearby, but they were not near enough to actually look to come in and defend on that one. The Ring of Spears is going to be more and more of a problem because it really does not allow Hercules to do what it needs to do in these fights. That's going to be a left side Phoenix as well because he got picked off in the jungle right there. And he was trying to zone, trying to keep tabs on people, but he just got, you know, surrounded basically. They're coming from all directions. He couldn't get out of here. Ring of Spears especially. There's literally no getting out for him. He has the teleport, but again, it really wouldn't have saved his life right there.
When the mid lane Phoenix is gone, it's really, really hard to kind of get outside of your base because the mid lane is one of the more important. It's the shortest lane, right? So those fire minions get to your waves and shove them in a lot quicker than any other lane on the map. That's just how, that's the distance, right? The distance down the lane, they spawn, they run down a lot quicker. They've got nowhere near as fast to go down. He shouldn't have been that far out, like, just because of the middle lane Phoenix. The middle lane Phoenix is important for gaining map control, but oh, there's going to be a fight.
That's a big pick. Nanton generates a lot of damage from the high 5 lineup. Now, can they stay alive long enough? Cal Chakra in the front line. He's an Apollo, does not want to be there. Able to get out safely. No Name may fall, however, to answer one back. And he wails now 2v4 as Covey has respawned. If they can find his kill in the Vulture and turns on the Spirit Ball, misses because of the driving strike, avoiding the detonation. KOS Gaming turning this one back around. Pershing finds a kill. And Covey answers straight back.
Phoenix. Yeah, Phoenix slapped to the face will do that. Elbow Chacho, though, still running for his life. El Chapu's out of here. And Kobe won't find, unfortunately, that Earthbreaker to clean him up. So he's going to be totally safe. They lose Kalachakra and No Name for 3 members wiped from that Fire Giant buff. But Kobe, he's looking for Elbow Chacho once again.
Yeah, they're going to slap back and forth as they'll go ahead and leap over the wall. The buff was secured by Covey, so yeah, it is what it is. I mean, that was a big swing. High 5 in the end came out ahead by about 4,000 gold on that Fire Giant pickup by them. But only 4,000 gold. The big thing is those 2 Phoenixes that are down, especially that left lane Phoenix. It is going to be down when that Fire Giant respawns, just about 30 seconds. It means Fireman is going to be there. They can look to push up the lane. They can look to buy as much time as possible, but if they cannot deal with that Fire Giant dance in about a minute, minute and a half, those Fire Minions are going to be pushing through to that Titan.
And they've got the left-hand lane Phoenix down high 5. They have got the best Phoenix in the game. Okay, so map pressure at this stage of the game, you know, where Fire Giant's not a contestable objective, middle Phoenix is the biggest one to have down. Minion waves grant vision. They grant pressure on the map. Taking down that middle lane Phoenix, it removes that. That wave shoves in.
Gives them a look, run away, run away. You don't want to be there.
That.
Okay.
Oh.
That was a good epic uppercut. He does not want to get caught right now in the middle of this fight. Losing a member would just spell disaster for him. He's trying to position himself to not get charged right back towards the high 5 lineup. They're not ready for this Fire Giant right now. They're still scattered across the map. They're going to look to start grouping up right now. They're leaving Kalachakra to deal with that left side fight. He's Apollo. He's a hunter.
He's ulting.
He's their third
ulting right now. He's ulting right now. Kizimaluke's gone a little bit deep. Down goes the Ring of Spears. They've got Kobe trapped in this one. El Chapu's going to jump back in. No Name's looking to go backline. Oh, they found Anton.
That's a kill from Boltron and No Name as well, answering back 1 for 1 yet again in these fights. It's now Grishing in the backline, trying to find damage on whoever he possibly can, as Kalachakra, does he know he's the hunter? He's constantly in the front line and is doing work. They just cannot bring him down in these fights. It's going to be a disengage coming out from High 5 and KOS Gaming, but KOS are giving chase. They're trying to find more kills.
KOS have got a lot higher DPS at this point. They've still got a Hunter online, and it's Apollo at that. The blink forward from Kizimaluke. He got the Mez on a Vulture. They burst through him. Cliff's found the kill. What's going to be the next pickup? They're looking at El Chapu, or are they going to turn tail and go towards this Fire Giant? They clean up this Fire Giant. They've got a lot of pressure on this map for the next 5 minutes.
This is a very, very risky call coming up from these guys. If they go for this, High 5 have 2 Wrath of the Gods online still. Any sort of crouch will come out. They actually don't have anything to speak of. It all comes down to Charge Prayer and the Gizmo, but look what's up around him. The Magi's busting. Bubble has refreshed. They're leaving Kalachakra to solo the Fire Giant right now. Here comes the steal attempt coming in from these guys. What's it going to come down to? The health bars are dropping, but can they find it? KOS Titan under attack as well.
31% health. It's down to got back up to 40 on the Fire Giant, but the Cliff is going to clear clear off Elbow Chacho. El Chapu is going to be the next focus out, so they managed to get both of those hogs down. Left-hand side, Grishank was just like, I can't be there. I can't help out. It's another body that we might potentially lose. He takes himself a Phoenix, puts pressure on the Titan. No Name respawns, cleans up those minion waves, but this is a cost pickup on that Fire Giant.
This game just swung back in a big way. Just off those kills, gold lead has shrunk just again to down below 2,000 gold. They're looking to push towards this Phoenix. The respawn time's on the side of hi-5. Their front line is dead for 30+ seconds. They're going to be getting a lot off the back of this one.
He's found a Petrify though. That was a really nice disengage. Gizmaluke is in passive right now. He needs to get back up. Kobe is trying to buy him some time. Grishank, great tectonic rift. They're gonna find Gizmaluke. What can they find next?
Kalchakra enters back into Vulture. Cliff isn't gonna blink out of that Anvil Dawn as Grishank's gonna give chase. It's gonna be back and forth. Berserker Barrage will be more than enough. The Flame Wave, unfortunately for Cliff, did not connect. But look what's happening at the Chaos Titan. Covey and Kalchakra not looking to go back yet. That was 4 kills, 3 kills, 2 kills, whatever. People are still respawning. There were 4 people dead as 2 finally come back up. Elgip is going to be up in a second. Numbers. I've explained I'm not good at the math. Leave me alone.
Kovi's alive. He can tank up this right-hand side tower and that Phoenix if he needs to. Grishank's under assault from No Name. He's got that one more Mjolnir's attunement. If Kovi gets onto him, he's dead.
In the front line, the teleport. One more in-hand is good. Now they can find Albert Chacho as well. They will remain firmly in control of this matchup. He'll have that Raven shout in 10 seconds, the lunge in just a few shorter than that. Can be able to find that kill.
They need to get Kovi were walking beside each other. They were looking at bodies there for a little second. That was kind of funny in the middle of all that.
KOS Gaming got that tier 2 tower. They got the mid Phoenix. They got the gold lead back in their control. Experience, most people level 20. I'm not concerned about that anymore. This game, look at that graph. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. All game long.
That's a lot of fight from Koz. That is a lot of spark and fight from Koz.
Yep. This has been an absolutely crazy, crazy game so far. We're 41 minutes into this one. It's technically one of the first games of the group. We're doing this game second, but this is one of the first games of the group stages, and we're coming up on the 42-minute mark already. And this game, I don't want to say it's not much far from over. With that point, one full on deicide will be the end of the game, but 35-36 on the kill count. Gold lead has been all over the place. We just saw hi-5 have the Fire Giant, get the lead, push down all sorts of objectives on the KOS side of the map, and then just 2-3 minutes later, it's the exact opposite situation that KOS Gaming has the Fire Giant. Sort of. 2 members have it. They're going to be looking to fight down, take the tier 2 tower in the right lane. I don't know if they can get a Phoenix necessarily at this point. It would be a big ask. Get the Gold Fury maybe, get the tier 2, buy up some items, just wait for the next Fire Giant perhaps, but I mean, this is one of those games, it's like tiptoe around. The shot caller knows this is going to be a big game going forward. It's only a handful of matches for the group stages. This is scary stuff if you're in a position of the shot callers for both of these teams.
Oh, hell yeah. I really want to be in Elbow Chacho's position, though. If he can get that clutch Ring of Spears onto a Hercules who's gone low and he's got that mitigate wounds active, though, or if he ever locks down Kalachakra and he's forced to use that ultimate in the middle of a team fight whilst he's being beat on, he's dead. He can't do it, and he knows it. I'm sure he knows that right now. He just has to turn and fight. And remember, both of our hunters here, they have Dev's Gauntlets. Look at this, Malice for that Ikaval. Not so just yet for Nonton and El Chapu. What? Triple crit? Yeah, this is triple crit build.
It's gonna hurt. Actually, he's a little bit down that damage chart. That said, he thinks he's a tank. He's in the front line constantly. I don't know what's going on. It's been very confusing this entire game so far. Cliff,
what it's done though is look at the rest of the team from Koz. They've got a Kumbhakarna, right? He's just been buying time for Cliff. They've been trying to dive Cliff from hi-5, and it hasn't worked a lot of times.
Yep, Phoenix on the left-hand side has to respawn for KOS Game. That means that Titan will be healing back up. 4-man Ring of Spears come out. They need to capitalize on this right now. Blink out for Cliff. Apollo across the skies. They look to re-engage and turn his fight back around.
Oh, Kalachakra is going to slam back down. Immediately gets burst. Vulture's got the ultimate to clean him up. Gives him a Luke so low. No names in the back line. Can they find Grishank? No, they can't just yet.
Yep, fight going back with health bars dropping for hi-5, but they have the fountain to heal themselves back up. Front line of the fight. No name and gives him a Luke very low on health bars. They finally punished Kalachakra for just his very, very aggressive positioning.
Yep, Cliff's gonna get plucked and throw back in towards his team. Path of Flames to try and buy him some time. If they can kill him off, Grishank's gonna be looking for a stun. No Name's not gonna find it. There's the Tectonic Rift. They've surely got Cliff. Or do they? Another stun. He's gonna land. Elbow Chacho finds Covey on the right side. Kai-5 have swept through. They've picked up 4. Gizmaluke is the only one left alive. This could be the end of the game.
Kalachakra's up in 30 seconds. This is going to be a defense at the Titan. Gizmaluke has a very long crowd control chain with Kumbhakarna. It's a long mez, it's a long route, but they don't have beads, but this is going to come down to him buying time for Kalachakra, and this is going to be an absolutely amazing defense if KOS Gaming are able to make it. It is going to be an absolutely huge ass. It's 1v5 at the mid Phoenix. He's doing what he can, but will it be enough?
He's taking damage right now because he can run back to that Titan. He's going to go for the fountain and try and get out of here. Grishanks hasn't quite killed him off. Gizmaluke. Kalachakra is up. If he can DPS the right targets, he might be able to win this.
This is going to be a really, really tough fight. Titan health is dropping quickly. Nanton finds Kalachakra, and with that, only Gizmaluke's left standing. KOS Gaming will fall to hi-5, but they did not go down easily in this one.
No, that was a back and forth game. Cos secured themselves 1 out of 2 fire giants in a position where they were behind. They were down 2 phoenixes at one stage, and they resurrected themselves. They overextended just a little bit in that mid lane, trying to get down that next phoenix right on its respawn so they could safely grab themselves a fire giant. Overstayed, and El Brochacho, Blink, Ring of Spears, MVP right there in that final fight.
Yeah, definitely. There's a 4-man Ring of Spears. You saw immediately the blink coming out from Cliff to get away, the Across the Skies coming back up. The big thing from hi-5 was they did not let Kalachakra run amok in their backline that entire fight, like every single fight prior to that. He dove back in with Across the Skies, was in the middle of 5. They just evaporated. He came down and vanished because they just turned everything, dumped on him, and just killed him immediately. And that was a huge factor of their damage. He wasn't able to make use of that lifesteal. He did no damage pretty much in that fight. And that was what ended up spelling the demise there for KOS Gaming. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's beautiful Ring of Spears coming out from El Brochacho, rather. The circle protection was spot on coming out from Vulture as well. hi-5 played that last fight very well and got the victory because of it.
Look at the difference between the two teams as well. 35 kills for Cos, 41 from the side of hi-5. hi-5, 100 assists over those 41 kills. Yeah. Only 74 from the side of KOS. So there was a lot more one-on-one outplays, a lot less team fight victories as a whole, whereas hi-5 were focused on winning those matches in the team fights, in that 5-man grouping. Look at the combo they had to do it, though. It was all about Odin, Sobek down in the lurk in the waters as well, Medusa petrified, Thor's going to slam down in the middle of that Ring of Spears as well, and Isis every single time. Bolcher's circle of protections was inside the Ring of Spears.
Yep, that said, guys, that's going to wrap things up for the first round today. I believe we're actually jumping over the round 2 games. We'll be coming straight back at you with round 3. We have a lot of games still to cover today. We have not even yet looked at the Group B set of teams yet. That's a whole nother thing to get to later on in the day. So I have a couple more games coming back at you in just a few minutes. And, as things look going into this one, I mean, that was... Just want to double check this before I actually go ahead and say it. But, that was... Who the heck was actually in this game? KOS Gaming coming in 8th seed in this one. Just went toe-to-toe
coming in 9th seed. 9th seed. We've got to remember Normies leave were actually 8th seed, but couldn't field a team.
9th seed coming into this one, just went toe-to-toe with hi-5 and gave them a run for their money. So if anyone thought that either of these groups may be boring, we saw EU all through the first 5 weeks just be an absolute mess. EU... After week 1, I was just surprised as hell myself, and going to the group stages, it looks like it's going to be no different. They will find that first game victory, hi-5 continuing their undefeated streak against the other 3 teams in Group A. But going forward, they still have a lot more games to play. We'll see if they can keep that up. We'll be back with another game here in just a few minutes, guys. Stick around, enjoy the music.